The life of Jacob is a story of a man who had everything promised to him: wealth, legacy, God's favor, but kept messing it up. A man who schemed, deceived, and ran from his problems. Yet, God never gave up on him, and Jacob holds a secret for every man who wants to win in life. Stick with me, because by the end of this video, you'll see how to stop struggling and start succeeding God's way. Picture this: a young Jacob, grandson of Abraham, heir to a divine promise. God's blessing is his birthright, and this includes righteousness by faith, wealth, and influence. But there's a catch. When his mother Rebecca hears God tell her that the elder will serve the younger, she, for some reason, doesn't trust the promise. Instead, she cooks up a scheme to trick Isaac into blessing Jacob instead of Esau. Jacob goes along with her trickery. He deceives his blind father, steals the blessing, and sparks Esau's rage. Esau vows to kill him. Jacob flees alone with just a staff and the clothes on his back. That night, he crashes at a place called Bethel. He dreams of a ladder to heaven, angels ascending and descending, and God himself says to him, "I'm with you, Jacob. I'll protect you wherever you go." No rebuke for his deception, just a promise. Jacob's now on the run, heading to his uncle Laban's. He falls for the younger daughter Rachel, but Laban tricks him into marrying Leah first. Deception breeds deception. Jacob, the deceiver, gets deceived. He works 20 years, builds a family, and fathers the 12 tribes of Israel. But he's still not home. God appears again. "Go back to Bethel." So Jacob gathers his family, his flocks, and flees at night. He fears Laban's wrath, and for good reason. Rachel has stolen her father's household gods, but Jacob doesn't know. When Laban storms after him, angry about stolen idols, Jacob swears an oath in anger: whoever took them will die. He doesn't realize, however, he just cursed his beloved Rachel. But God had stepped in. In a dream, he warns Laban, "Do not harm Jacob." Jacob is spared, but the words have been spoken. And one day, too soon, Rachel will pay the price. While on his way to resolve things with his family, Jacob is alone one night, frightened at the thought of facing Esau. A mysterious man appears and wrestles with him until dawn. Jacob fights hard, but the man touches his hip, dislocating it. Jacob is helpless, clinging to the man, begging for a blessing. The man says, "Your name's no longer Jacob, the deceiver. You're now Israel, prince with God." That man, Jesus himself. Jacob limps away, transformed, blessed not by scheming, but by surrender. But the drama doesn't end. Jacob's daughter, Dinah, wanders near a foreign city. She's curious, exploring, but Shechem, a local prince, seizes and violates her. Jacob's sons, Simeon and Levi, are furious. They trick the city's men into circumcision, then slaughter them in revenge. Jacob's horrified, not so much for Dinah, but for himself. "You've made me infamous. They'll kill us all." He's still thinking, me, me, me. God steps in again. "Go back to Bethel." Jacob finally gets it. He tells his household to ditch their idols, and he purifies his camp. As they travel, God's terror falls on the surrounding towns, protecting them. No one touches them. Jacob's story isn't about perfection. It's about a God who keeps his promise, even when you mess up. Jacob was righteous by faith, but his words and actions often betrayed fear, not faith. He cursed Rachel, his wife, unknowingly, and she died. He exposed Dinah, his own daughter, to danger. Yet God disciplined him in love, transforming him from a deceiver to a prince, the father of an entire nation. Your success doesn't come from hustling or manipulating. It comes when you stop wrestling and let God's grace flow in your life. Look, I get it. You want to win. You want to build a legacy, lead your family, stack resources, and leave a dent in the world. But here's the truth. You can't pour from an empty cup. The poor can't lift the poor, and the devil knows it. That's why he's gunning for your voice. Because your words, well, they're not just words. When you consistently confess God's promises over your life, you'll rule. Speak doubt, and you're handing the enemy the keys. Jacob was a man wired for greatness, but got entangled in deception, running from his past. You don't have to scheme your way to the top. The blessing isn't taken, it's received. The world system says, claw your way up, but God's system says, stand in the blessing that's already been promised to you. Click on the next video for more stories that unpack God's blueprint for success.